I don't know if anybody, like, I ain't really been checking out the news or nothing lately. The other day I was looking at some stuff, and come to find out, like, it's like almost all the volcanoes in the world is active now at the same time. It's a lot of strange anomalies happening in the heavens. I saw this thing on. They had this observatory in Antarctica, and they run like live footage from it, like a camera, like every 10 minutes, and you get a whole different view of the heavens from Antarctica, and there's some strange things going on in the earth, man. And something very major is about to go down. And whatever you're gonna do, whatever you've been thinking about doing for the Most High, I suggest that you get to doing it, because we don't have much time. And I ain't just saying that to make nobody know it. I'm knowing it, because we do not have much time. I'm trying to find something to read. Bear with me a second. This is from the Book of Enoch. I'm going to read. It says, "And it came to pass after this that my spirit was translated." Well, it came to pass after this that my spirit was translated, and it ascended into the heavens. So this is talking about Enoch when he was translated. What happened or what he saw. It says, "And I saw the holy sons of the Most High. They were stepping on flames of fire. Their garments were white, and their raiment and their faces shone like snow. And I saw 2 streams of fire, and the light of that fire shone like," it says, "hyacinth. And I fell on my face before the Lord of spirits. And the angel Michael, one of the archangels, seized me by my right hand and lifted me up and led me forth into all the secrets. And he showed me all the secrets of righteousness. And he showed me all the secrets of the ends of the heaven, and all the chambers of all the stars, and all the luminaries, whence they proceed before the face of the holy ones." So now all the stars and all the luminaries, right? Let me check. I'm going to look something up real quick. Luminaries. All right. So now this is talking about stars and planets, right? Now, he said, Michael seized him by his right hand, lifted him up, led him forth into all the secrets, and he showed me all the secrets of righteousness, and he showed me all the secrets of the ends of heaven, and all the chambers of all the stars, and all the luminaries, whence they proceed before the face of the holy ones. So this is talking about all the heavenly bodies and the stars, and it refers to those heavenly bodies in their manifestations that, like, they are in fact entities, beings, angels. It says, "And he translated my spirit into the heaven of heavens." So now this is beyond the chambers of the stars and all the luminaries. This is beyond the universe. This is beyond the known universe that we know, into the place where the Most High dwells. It says the Most High dwells in the highest heaven. So each heaven is like a dimension, and the Most High is in the highest heaven, or the highest dimension. There's no other dimension above the dimension where he's at. Now all the dimensions proceed out from Earth. Earth being a dimension in itself and being lower than the heavens. Okay, so you got the sky, which is the expanse, which what we can see when we look at, that is a heaven. You have beyond the sky, it's another dimension. That is another heaven, where all the luminaries and stars exist at. Then you go beyond that, it's another, it's deep because I forgot where I was reading that. It's an expanse over each heaven. So each dimension has an outer edge, or just like we can't see into the heavens really beyond. You know, we might see the stars, but we can't really see what's happening in that other dimension outside of the Earth's ozone, or whatever they call it. It says, and he translated my spirit into the heaven of heavens, and I saw there, as it were, a structure built of crystals, and between those crystals, tongues of living fire. So this building, I guess that's where they got the building, like in Superman back in the day, where, you know, the building of crystals, you know, but that was like a real lame version of what's really up. So Enoch saw this structure built of crystal, and between those crystals are tongues of living fire. And my spirit saw the girdle which girt that house of fire, and on its four sides were streams full of living fire, and they girt that house. So this particular building, it was on all four sides, it was fire, it was living fire. So the fire is an entity. The building is an entity. The tongues of living fire between the building is an entity. See, everything in the heavens and from the Most High's perspective, just like the earth, the sun, the moon, the stars are all beings. They take their form here in the physical realm, and we behold them in their certain forms that they're commanded to assume. But they are, in fact, very powerful beings, living beings. It says, "And my spirit saw the girdle which is good." Water also. It says, "And my spirit saw the girdle which girt that house of fire, and on its four sides were streams full of living fire, and they girt that house. And round about were cherubim, that should be cherubim, and Ophanim. And these are they who sleep not and guard the throne of his glory." So he got this living fire around the house, living fire in between the structure. So it's a very well protected structure. It's got to be the most awesome fortress ever designed by any creature or being. See, because another place to let you know that that the four beasts that are around the throne are Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel. And these four beasts they like, if you get through the streams of fire and the living beings that's between the buildings, if you get through the seraphim, the cherubim, and the Ophanim, you got to deal with the four beasts that's sitting around the throne. So it says, "And Michael, Raphael, and I saw angels who could not be counted, and 1,000, and 10,000 times 10,000 encircling that house." So you got the seraphim, cherubim, and Ophanim, which guard the house. And then you got a whole nother level of angels, thousands, 1,000,000, and 10,000 times 10,000, encircling the house. And Michael and Raphael, Gabriel and Penuel, and the holy angels who are above the heavens go in and out of that house. And they came forth from that house, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Penuel, and many holy angels without number. And with them the head of days, his head white as pure wool, and his raiment indescribable. So this is the Most High coming in and out of his house. And I fell on my face, and my whole body became relaxed, and my spirit was transfigured. And I cried with a loud voice, with the spirit of power, and blessed and glorified and extolled. And these blessings went forth out of my mouth. And these blessings went forth out of my mouth were well-pleasing before that head of days. And that head of days came with Michael and Gabriel, Raphael, and Penuel, thousands and 10,000s of angels without number. Okay, this is lost passage wherein the Son of Man was described as accompanying the head of days. And Enoch asked one of the angels concerning the Son of Man who he was. All right. And he, that is the angel, came to me and greeted me with his voice. And he said unto me, This is the Son of Man who is born unto righteousness. And righteousness abides over him. And the righteousness of the head of days forsakes him not. And he said unto me, He proclaims unto thee peace in the name of the world to come. From hence has proceeded peace since the creation of the world, and so shall it be unto thee forever and forever and ever. And all shall walk in his ways, since righteousness never forsaketh him. With him will be their dwelling places, and with him their heritage. They shall not be separated from him forever and ever and ever. And so there shall be length of days with that Son of Man, and the righteous shall have peace and upright way in the name of the Lord of spirits forever and ever. All right, the book of the courses of the luminaries of heaven, the relation of each according to their classes, their dominions, their seasons, according to their names and places of origin, and according to their months, which Uriel, the holy angel who was with me, who is their guide, showed me. And he showed me all their laws exactly as they are, and how it is with regard to all the years of the world and unto eternity, till the new creation is accomplished, which dureth till eternity. And this is the first law of the luminaries. The luminary of the sun has its rising in the eastern portals of heaven, and its setting in the western portals of the heaven. And I saw 6 portals in which the sun riseth, and 6 portals on which the sun sets, and the moon rises and sets in these portals. And this is the first law of the luminaries. The luminary of the sun has its rising in the eastern portals of heaven. So now, according to these scriptures, the earth is not revolving around the sun. And this belief was held, I think, all the way up to like the 15th or 16th century, when they came out, well, Sir Isaac Newton and somebody else, whoever had the apple or something, came out with the solar system, and it's being taught the way that it is.
Yeah, now, that's Sir Isaac, you're right.
What'd you say?
I said, you're right. That's Sir Isaac Newton.
Right. Now, I've been checking something out like I've been looking at this like maybe for the last couple of weeks. See, because I could stand in my back window, right? And the sun, the sun and the moon move definitely according to the same line. And if you check it out, if you find something that's stationary for you to look through, like if you can take a certain seat in your house and look at the moon at certain points at different times during a given day, and look at the sun at different times during a given day, if you have a steady seat, you can see that they move on the same path, you know, and they actually move around the earth. Like, I'm like they telling us the earth is moving around the sun, but it don't look like that to me. It says, and this is the first law of the luminaries. The luminary, the sun, has its rising in the eastern portals of the heavens and is setting in the western portals of the heaven. Now, what's deep is no matter what time of year it is, no matter what point in your life that you've been, the sun and the moon have moved across this same track ever since you've been on the planet. Now, I don't know if I'm not bugging, because I mean, you can see the sun rise in the east and it go across the sky and it sets in the west. It said, this is the first law, and it's setting in the western portals of heaven. I saw 6 portals in which the sun rises and 6 portals in which the sun sets, and the moon rises and sets in these portals. And the leaders of the stars and those whom they lead, 6 in the east, 6 in the west, and all follow each other and accurately correspond as many windows to the right and left of these portals. And first there goes forth the great luminary named the sun, and his circumference is like the circumference of the heaven, and he is quite filled with illuminating and heating fire. The chariot on which he ascends, the wind drives, and the sun goes down from the heaven and returns through the north in order to reach the east, and is so guided that he comes to the appropriate portal and shines in the face of the heaven. In this way he rises in the first month, and in the great portal, which is the 4th, those 6 portals in the east. And in that 4th portal from which the sun rises in the first month are 12 window openings, from which proceedeth a flame when they are open in their season. When the sun rises in the heaven, he comes forth through that 4th portal 30 mornings in succession, and sets accurately in the 4th portal in the west of the heaven. And during this period of the day becomes daily longer, and the nightly shorter to the 13th morning. On that day, the day is longer than the night by the 9th part. And the day amounts exactly to 10 parts, and the night to 8 parts. And the sun rises from that 4th portal and sets in the 4th, and returns to the 5th portal on the east 30 mornings, and he rises from it and sets in the 5th portal. And then the day becomes longer by 2 parts and amounts to 11 parts. Yeah.
So when they change the times, like during the wintertime it'd be getting darker like 5:30. So that's according to the scriptures, or is that they just change times to throw people off.
They change times, but the days actually be longer sometimes, and they be shorter at other times. Like in the wintertime, the days be shorter. It's like the deception that they pulling over us is it's going on to such a high level to where what they're showing us on the news and on the media is totally a mind job. You know, and so that's why you really can't get caught up into what they saying, because they specifically created this medium. This medium was created by a dude that was trying to communicate with spirits, the spirit world. And he succeeded, although they didn't say it, like they put it off as something else. But the dude that created I think it was the Cather 2, I forgot what they called it. But it wasn't even created to be a television. It was created to communicate with another dimension. And later on, it was transformed into the television. You know, so it's like the rulers of the darkness of this world and those families and souls that's connected with these horrible beings, you know, they've got a plan and an agenda it's so diabolical that it's just like right now, man, like all these real rich families, they done took like all the seeds of the earth that produce out after every kind and went and took them to someplace in Antarctica and locked all this stuff up in a vault to where, you know, they got underground bases all over the place and they're fully stocking. Like, they talking about how the government just bought like so many $1 million worth of tampons. You know, they stocking these places with goods and personnel, and these cats is really gearing up because they know that something's getting ready to go down. It's something that's getting ready to be horrible, and they think that they're going to survive this thing. They think that the technology that they've come in contact with is going to save them from the Most High's judgment, and that somehow they are going to be able to conquer both realms. They think that they're going to be able to maintain control over this physical earth, and they think that they're going to be able to go into the dimension where the Most High is, where that building is, where the 4 archangels, the thousands of angels, they think that they're going to be able to take that. That's why they created a Stargate, just like they had back at the Tower of Babel. The Most High shut them down, but every civilization has been fixed with the same purpose, from Nimrod to Babylon to Nebuchadnezzar to Xerxes. You know, all these cats called themselves a living God. All these cats had the spirit of Satan on them to unite all the nations they would conquer the known world in order to bring everybody in the subjugation unto to whatever they was doing, to mount an attack against the Most High. To Alexander the Great, all the Caesars, Hitler, Mussolini, all these, Satan been in so many people, and like the whole time that the Cold War was going on, they talking about missiles in Cuba and all kinds of stuff. All the nations have been working together this whole time with the space program, with building these HARP arrays. Like, it's more than one. It's like about 12 Matter of fact, it's about 24 Harper rays all over the planet. They got these Hadron Colliders, these stargates. They got these things all over the planet. So basically what he's been going through is he's going through how the year is broken down and how the sun, the moon, and the stars move. It's just like when you look at the star constellations and you look at star charts, if the Earth was moving around the sun in such a circumference that they're saying that it is, and this orbit is so great that they're saying, because the sun is bigger than the moon. So if the Earth is making this big jump, why do the star constellations stay the same?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
What?
I hope Ryan moved down to San Diego, right?
What'd you say?
And the same stars that I've seen from my house, I've seen them down there. Like the same little pattern that it was.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But I'm telling you, the main giveaway is if you look at how the sun and the moon travel during the day. It travel like at 3 o'clock, the sun will be in the same place every day at 3 o'clock. It ain't like you're going to look up, like if you're at a certain place on the planet and you look up, like I can look out my window now. I see the edge of the window, the top of a building, and then I can see the sun or the moon. And it's a certain amount of inches away from the roof. Like when I look at this pattern, it's moving across the sky from east to west. And they're constantly revolving around the earth. And that's what these scriptures are saying. That the sun, which is an angel, he moves through portals, and the moon, she moves through portals around the earth. And it's deep, man, because if you actually do the math on what this chapter is saying, it's crazy.
You know, it's interesting what you were saying about these people that do all the wickedness. You know, in the same book, Enoch, all the way down to like the 97th chapter, it gives you an account of the destruction that's going to come upon the world because of those that have sinned continually and hadn't seen it. And it's real profound. If you get a chance, maybe I might be able to go over that.
Where at?
It's 97.
Let me get it. It says, "Believe, ye righteous, that the sinners will become ashamed and perish in the day of unrighteousness? Be it known unto you, ye sinners, that the Most High is mindful of your destruction, and the angels of heaven rejoice over your destruction. What will ye do, ye sinners, and whither will ye flee on that day of judgment?" You won't be going to Egypt. It says, "What will you do, ye sinners? Whither will you flee on the day of judgment when you hear the voice of the prayer of the righteous?" It says, "Yea, it says, ye shall fare like unto them, against whom this word shall be a testimony. Ye have been companions of sinners." That's a deep zone. So he's saying that on the day of judgment, they're going to hear the voice of the prayer of the righteous. So they're going to hear the righteous bringing judgment, talking about ye have been the companion of sinners. And in those days, the prayer of the righteous shall reach you, the days of your judgment shall come. And all the words of your unrighteousness shall be read out before the great Holy One. And your faces shall be covered with shame, and he will reject every work which is grounded on unrighteousness. That's crazy. Woe to you, ye sinners, who live on the mid-ocean and on the dry land, whose remembrance is evil against you. Woe to you who acquire silver and gold in unrighteousness and say, we have become rich with riches and have possessions and have acquired everything that we desire. And now let us do what we purposed, for we have gathered silver, and many are the husbandmen in our houses, and our granaries are brim full as with water. Yea, and like water your lies shall flow away, for your riches shall not abide, but speedily ascend from you. For ye have acquired it in unrighteousness, and ye shall be given over to a great curse. Now I swear unto you, to the wise and to the foolish, for ye shall have manifold experiences on earth. For ye men shall put on more adornments than a woman, and colored garments more than a virgin, in royalty and in grandeur and in power, and in silver and gold and in purple, and in splendor and in food, they shall be poured out as water. Therefore shall they be wanting in doctrine and wisdom, and they shall perish thereby together with their possessions, and with all their glory and their splendor, and in shame and in slaughter and in destitution. Their spirit shall be cast into the furnace of fire. I have sworn unto you, ye sinners, as a mountain has not become a slave, and a hill does not become a handmaid of a woman, even so sin has not been sent upon the earth, but man of himself has created it. And under a great curse shall they fall who commit it. And barrenness has not been given to the woman, but on account of the deeds of her own hands, she dies without children. I have sworn unto you, ye sinners, by the Holy Great One, that all your evil deeds are revealed in the heavens, and that none of your deeds of oppression are covered and hidden. And do not think in your spirit, nor say in your heart, that ye do not know, and that ye do not see, that every sin is every day recorded in heaven in the presence of the Most High. From henceforth ye know that all your oppression wherewith ye oppress is written down every day till the day of your judgment. Woe to you, ye fools, for through your folly shall ye perish, and ye shall transgress against the wise, and so good hap shall not be your portion. And now know ye that ye are prepared for the day of destruction. Wherefore do not hope to live, ye sinners, but ye shall depart and die. For ye know no ransom. For ye are prepared for the day of great judgment, for the day of tribulation of great shame for your spirit. Woe to you, ye obstinate of heart, who work wickedness and eat blood. Whence have ye good things to eat and drink and to be filled? From all the good things which the Lord, the Most High, has placed in abundance on the earth, therefore shall ye have no peace. Woe to you who love the deeds of unrighteousness. Wherefore do ye hope for good hap unto yourselves? Know that ye shall be delivered into the hands of the righteous, and they shall cut off your necks and slay you, and have no mercy upon you. That's a rough deal right there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's deep that the scriptures tell of a day that the righteous are going to kill the wicked with straight up fatalities, like horrible jumps. Woe to you who love the deeds of unrighteousness. Wherefore do you hope for good hap unto yourselves? Know that ye shall be delivered into the hands of the righteous, and they shall cut off your necks and slay you, and have no mercy upon you. Woe to you who rejoice in the tribulation of the righteous, for no grave shall be dug for you. Woe to you who set at naught the words of the righteous, for ye shall have no hope of life, Woe to you who write down lying and godless words, for they write down their lies that men might hear them and act godlessly towards their neighbor. Therefore shall they have no peace, but die a sudden death. Woe to you who work godlessness and glory in lying and extol them. Ye shall perish, and no happy life shall be yours. Woe to them who pervert the words of uprightness and transgress the eternal law, and transform themselves into what they were not, into sinners. They shall be trodden underfoot upon the earth. In those days make ready, ye righteous, to raise your prayers as a memorial, and place them as a testimony before the angels, that they might place the sin of the sinners for a memorial before the Most High. That's a deep zone right there. Because he's saying that the righteous are supposed to be marking the deeds of the sinners before the Most High and praying for the Most High to bring judgment. In those days, the nations shall be stirred up, and the families of the nations shall arise on the day of destruction. And in those days, the destitute shall go forth and carry off their children. They shall abandon them, so that their children shall perish through them. Yea, they shall abandon their children that are still sucklings, and not return to them, and shall have no pity on their beloved ones. And again I swear to you, ye sinners, that sin is prepared for the day of unceasing bloodshed. And they who worship stones and grave images of gold and silver and wood and stone and clay, and those who worship impure spirits and demons and all kinds of idols not according to knowledge, shall get no manner of help from them. And they shall become godless by reason of the folly of their hearts, and their eyes shall be blinded through the fear of their hearts, and through visions in their dreams. Through these they shall become godless and fearful. They shall have wrought all their work in a lie, and shall have worshipped a stone. Therefore in an instant they shall perish. But in those days blessed are all they who accept the words of wisdom, and understand them, and observe the paths of the Most High, and walk in the path of his righteousness, and become not godless with the godless, for they shall be saved. Woe to you who spread evil to your neighbors, for ye shall be slain in Sheol. Woe to you who make deceitful and false measures, and to them who cause bitterness on earth, for they shall thereby be utterly consumed. Woe unto you who build your houses through the grievous tools of others, and all their building materials are the brick and stones of sin. I tell you, ye shall have no peace. Woe to them who reject the measure and eternal heritage of their fathers, and whose souls follow after idols, for they shall have no rest. Woe to them who work unrighteousness and help oppression, and slay their neighbors until the day of the great judgment. For he shall cast down your glory, bring affliction on your hearts, and shall arouse his fierce indignation, and destroy you with the sword. And all the holy and righteous shall remember your sins.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah,
I don't know how many woes. I think that there are 3 or more woes in Revelations, but this sounds like an expansion on what the woes are showing. You know, it's extremely in some senses it's kind of graphic, but you know, this ain't a place where somebody want to be.
Yeah, you're right about that. I'm gonna read on. Hold on. 99, 100. All right. And in those days, in one place, the fathers, and in those days, in one place, the fathers together with their sons shall be smitten, and brothers one with another shall fall in death, till the streams flow with their blood. For a man shall not withhold his hand from slaying his sons and his sons' sons, and the sinner shall not withhold his hands from his from his honored brother. From dawn till sunset they shall slay one another. Man, that's crazy. Because it's a movie called From Dusk Till Dawn. So from the morning time, it's just people just killing each other. He's saying he's going to put a spirit. It's going to be horrible. It says, and the horse shall walk up to the breast in the blood of the sinner. This is talking about, definitely what's talking about in Revelations. It's the same day. And the chariot shall be submerged to its height. So, and that's when they said the horse shall be to, the blood shall be to the horse's bridle. I'm talking about like it's going to be 4 foot of blood in the street. And in those days, the angels shall descend into the secret places and gather together into one place all those who brought down sin, and the Most High will arise on the day of judgment to execute judgment, great judgment amongst sinners. So he says the angels is going to go and get those angels, those 200 angels that sin. He's going to go get them. And over all the righteous and holy, he will appoint guardians from amongst the holy angels to guard them as the apple of an eye, until he makes an end of all wickedness and all sin. It says, and though the righteous sleep a long sleep, they have naught to fear. And then the children of the earth shall see the wise in security, and shall understand all the words of this book, and recognize that their riches shall not be able to save them in their overthrow of their sins. Woe to you, sinners, on the day of strong anguish. Ye who afflict the righteous and burn them with fire, ye shall be requited according to your works. Woe to you, ye obstinate of heart, who watch in order to devise wickedness. Therefore shall fear come upon you, and there shall be none to help you. Woe to you, ye sinners, on account of the words of your mouth, and on account of the deeds of your hands, which your godlessness has wrought. In blazing flames, burning worse than fire, shall ye burn. And now know ye from the angels, he will inquire as to your deeds in heaven, from the sun and from the moon and from the stars, in reference to your sins, because upon the earth ye executed judgment on the righteous. So he's saying that the moon that's traveling in its course is watching the sun. In her course, the sun that's traveling in his course is watching everything that's being done on the earth. All the stars in the heavens are watchers. They are watching what's happening on the earth. And they are keeping a record of everything that's being done. And everything is being recorded and stored on the Most High's storage system, which not only records the event video and audio, but it actually it captures the whole moment in time. Everything that is taking place in real time can be recalled at any time. So a day can be recalled because the Most High is not subject to time and space. And these things will be referenced in the judgment. It says, and he will summon to testify against you every cloud and mist and dew and rain, for they shall all be withheld because of you from descending upon you, and they shall be mindful of your sins. And now give presents to the rain, that it be not withheld from descending upon you, nor yet the dew when it has received gold and silver from you, that it might descend, when the hoarfrost and snow with their chilliness, and all the snowstorms and all their plagues fall upon you in those days, ye shall not be able to stand before them. Observe the heaven, ye children of heaven, and every work of the Most High, and fear ye him, and work no evil in his presence. If he closes the windows of heaven, and withholds the rain and the dew from descending upon the earth on your account, what will ye do then? And if he sends his anger upon you because of your deeds, ye cannot petition him. For ye spake proud and insolent words against his righteousness. Therefore ye shall have no peace. And see ye not the sailors of the ships, how their ships are tossed to and fro by the waves, and are shaken by the winds, and are in sore trouble? And therefore do they fear, because all their godly possessions go upon the sea with them, and they have evil forebodings of heart, that the sea will swallow them that will perish therein. Are not the entire sea and all its waters and all its movements the work of the Most High? And has he not set limits to its doing, and confined it throughout by the sand? And at his reproof it is afraid and dries up, and all its fish die, and all that is in it. But ye sinners that are on the earth, fear him not. Has he not made the heaven and earth and all that is therein? Who has given understanding and wisdom to everything that moves on the earth and in the sea? Do not the sailors of the ship fear the sea? Yet sinners fear not the Most High. That's crazy. Do y'all got 102?
Yeah.
Hey, Rob,
Yeah.
from that water documentary, it's kind of bugged out because he says he's going to call the water and the mist, and it says in there how it's like a memory microfish in the water itself.
Right. Yeah.
Bugged out.
I thought about that when I read it too. Yeah, that's deep, man. How he says, the water remember everything. In those days when he has brought a grievous fire upon you, whither will ye flee? And where will ye find deliverance? And when he launches forth his word against you, will ye not be affrighted and fear? And all the luminaries shall be affrighted with fear, and all the earth shall be affrighted and tremble and be alarmed. And all the angels shall execute their commands, and shall seek to hide themselves from the presence of the great glory. And the children of the earth shall tremble and quake, and ye sinners shall be cursed forever, and ye shall have no place. Fear ye not, ye souls of the righteous, and be hopeful, ye that have died in righteousness. And grieve not if your soul into Sheol has descended in grief, and that in your life your body fared not according to your goodness. But wait for the day of judgment of sinners, and for the day of cursing and chastisement. And when ye die, the sinners speak over you. As we die, so die the righteous. And what benefit do they reap for their deeds? Behold, even as we, so do they die in grief and darkness. And what have they more than we? From henceforth we are equal. Saying that's what the sinners are going to say about the righteous. And what will they receive, and what will they see forever? Behold, they too have died, and henceforth forever shall they see no light. I tell you, ye sinners, ye are content to eat and drink, and rob and sin, and strip men naked, and acquire wealth, and see good days. Have ye seen the righteous, how their end falls out? That no manner of violence is found in them till their death. Nevertheless, they perished and became as though they had not been. And their spirits descended into Sheol in tribulation. Now therefore, I swear unto you, the righteous, by the glory of the great and honored and mighty one in dominion, and by his greatness I swear to you, I know a mystery, and have read the heavenly tablets, and have seen the heavenly books, and have found written therein and inscribed regarding them, that all goodness and joy and glory are prepared for them, and written down for the spirits of those who have died in righteousness, and that manifold good shall be given unto you in recompense for your labors, and that your lot is abundantly beyond the lot of the living. And the spirits of you who have died in righteousness shall live and rejoice, and their spirits shall not perish, nor their memorial from before the face of the Great One, unto all the generations of the world. Wherefore no longer fear their contumely. Let's see what that means. Insulting or insolent language. Woe unto you, ye sinners, when ye have died. If ye die in the wealth of your sins, and those who are like you say regarding you, blessed are the sinners, that they have seen all their days, and how they have died in prosperity and in wealth, and have not seen tribulation or murder in their life, and have died in honor, and judgment has not been executed on them during their life, know ye that their souls will be made to descend into Sheol, and they shall be wretched in their great tribulation, and into darkness and chains, and a burning flame, where there is grievous judgment shall your spirits enter.
That's in line with the scriptures and Clement.
Yeah.
Like the story of Lazarus and the king, and then Clement talked about the same exact situation.
Yeah. And the great judgment shall be for all generations of the world. Woe to you, for ye shall have no peace. Say not in regard to the righteous and good who are in life. Oh, say not in regard to the righteous and good who are in life. In our troubled days we have toiled laboriously and experienced every trouble, and met with much evil and been consumed, become few, and our spirits small, and we have been destroyed and have not found any to help us with a word. We have been tortured and destroyed, and not hoped to see life from day to day. We hope to be the head and have become the tail. We have toiled laboriously and have had no satisfaction in our toil. We have become the food of the sinners and the unrighteous, and they have laid their yoke heavily upon us. That's crazy. They have had dominion over us that hated us and smote us. And to those that hated us we have bowed our necks, but they pitied us not. We desired to get away from them that we might escape and be at rest, but found no place whereunto we should flee and be safe from them. And our complaint to the rulers in our tribulations, or says, and complained to the rulers in our tribulation, and cried out against those who devoured us, but they did not attend to our cries, not hearken to our voice. And they helped those who robbed us and devoured us, and those who made us few. And they concealed their oppression, and they did not remove from us the yoke of those that devoured us, and dispersed us, and murdered us. They have concealed their murder, and remembered not that they have lifted up their hands against us. So I swear unto you that in heaven the angels remember you for good before the glory of the Great One, and your names are written before the glory of the Great One. Be hopeful, for aforetime ye were put to shame through ill and affliction, but now ye shall shine as the lights of heaven. Ye shall shine, and ye shall be seen, and the portals of heaven shall be open to you. And in your cry, that's crazy too, because the portals was open to Adam and them, and they were able, it said we're going to be able to go back and forth between those dimensions of where the Most High dwells and the earth. We're going to be able to, like Christ ascended through the portals into the dimension where the Most High is. And Christ is going to descend through those portals again to come back to the earth. And they said we're going to have a body like unto his glorious body. Same power. Yeah, ye shall shine and be seen, and the portals of heaven shall be open to you. And in your cry for judgment. That's crazy. Like, in your cry and all the trouble that we're going through, and in your complaints, and in your petitions for deliverance from your situations, your tribulations, you need to add a cry for judgment, for the Most High's judgment to come. That's what we need to be praying for. We need to be living righteously before the Lord so that we, as the righteous, can cry like Abel, can cry for the judgment to come upon the earth. And you cry for judgment, and it shall appear to you. For all your tribulations shall be visited on the rulers and on all who help those who plundered you. Be hopeful and cast not away your hopes, for ye shall have great joy as the angels of heaven. What shall ye be obliged to do? Ye shall not have to hide on the day of great judgment, and ye shall not be found as sinners. And the eternal judgment shall be far from you for all the generations of the world. And now fear not, ye righteous, when you see the sinners growing strong and prospering in their ways. Be not companions with them, but keep afar from their violence. That's why it says, if the world receive you not, marvel not, because they didn't receive me. Because in order for you to come up in this world, you have to become a companion of the wicked. You know, your boss, you got to get cool with your boss. You got to have a fellowship with your boss to move up to the level where your boss is. And then if you want to get to the level where his boss is, you got to become cool with his boss. And you got to keep becoming cool. And if you keep moving up, you're finding out that you're becoming cool with Satan. It says, and now fear not, ye righteous, when you see the sinners growing strong and prospering in their ways. Be not companions with them, but keep afar from their violence. For ye shall become companions of the hosts of heaven. That's going to be our posse, Michael and the archangels, them 10,000s upon thousands. They're going to be shouting, holy, 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 to us, to the body of Christ. You should become companions of the hosts of heaven. And although ye sinners say, all our sins shall not be searched out and written down, nevertheless they shall write down all your sins every day. And now I show unto you that light and darkness, day and night. See all your sins. Be not godless in your hearts, and lie not to alter not the words of uprightness, nor charge with lying the words of the holy and great one, nor take account of your idols, for all your lying and all your godlessness issue not in righteousness, but in great sin. And now I know this mystery, that sinners will alter and pervert the words of righteousness in many ways, and will speak wicked words and lie and practice great deceits and write books concerning their words. But when they write down truthfully all my words in their languages, and do not change or diminish aught from my words, but write them all down truthfully, all that I first testified concerning them, then I know another mystery, that the books will be given to the righteous and the wise to become a cause of joy and uprightness and much wisdom. And to them shall the books be given, and they shall believe in them and rejoice over them. And then shall all the righteous who have learnt therefrom all the paths of uprightness be recompensed. So that's crazy. It's like the Most High said that these books was going to come to us in the last days. I'm going to get something real quick, and we can come right back to that last little bit.
Hey, Rom.
Yes.
Can you explain 9 through 11?
Light and darkness, day and night, see all your sins. Yeah, so what it's saying is light and darkness, day and night. That means you can't hide, because the beings from the unseen realm and the sun, the moon, the stars, all the angels is watching and writing down everything we do. So he's saying that, and now I show you that light and darkness, day and night, see all your sins. Be not godless in your hearts. So the Most High is watching so hard. Like, you think that they got cameras everywhere, they bugging the internet, bugging our phone and all that. They ain't like the Most High. The Most High is recording the thoughts and intents, the things that you think in your heart, the things that nobody can see. The Most High is recording all that, plus everything else. So he's like, all your sins shall be searched out. No. See all this. Be not godless in your minds, and lie not, and alter not the words of uprightness. So don't lie, and don't alter the words of truth, nor charge with lying the words of the Holy and Great One. Like, don't say that the Most High is lying in the scriptures, nor take account of your idols. For all your lying and all your godlessness issue not in righteousness, but in great sin. And now I know this mystery, that sinners will alter and pervert the words of righteousness in many ways, and will speak wicked words, and lie, and practice great deceits, and write books concerning their words. But when they write down truthfully all my words in their languages, and do not change or diminish aught from my words, but write them all down truthfully, all that I first testified concerning them, then I know another mystery, that the books will be given to the righteous and the wise to become a cause of joy and uprightness and much wisdom. And to them shall the books be given, and they shall believe in them and rejoice over them. And then shall all the righteous who have learnt therefrom all the paths of uprightness be recompensed. So we're going to receive a reward for taking heed to this. Now I'm going to read this real quick. This is how the book starts off. We'll come back to that last fragment. It says, the words of the blessing of Enoch, wherewith he blessed the elect and righteous, who will be living in the day of tribulation, and all the wicked and godless. So we in that time, it's about to go down. And he took up this parable and said, Enoch, a righteous man whose eyes were opened by the Most High, saw the vision of the Holy One in the heavens, which the angels showed me, and from them I heard everything, and from them I understood as I saw, but not for this generation, but for a remote one which was for to come. Concerning the elect, I said, and took up my parable concerning them. The Holy Great One will come forth from his dwelling, and the eternal God will tread upon the earth, even on Mount Sinai, and appear from his camp, and appear in the strength of his might from the heaven of heavens. And all shall be smitten with fear, and the watchers shall quake, and great fear and trembling shall seize them unto the ends of the earth. And the high mountain shall be shaken, and the high hill shall be made low, and shall melt like wax before the flame. The earth shall be wholly rent in sunder, and all that is upon the earth shall perish. And there shall be a judgment upon all men, but with the righteous he will make peace. He will protect the elect, and mercy shall be upon them, and they shall all belong to the Most High. And they shall be prospered, and they shall be all be blessed. and he will help them all, and light shall appear unto them, and he will make peace with them. And behold, he cometh with 10,000 of his holy ones to execute judgment upon all, and to destroy all the ungodly, and to convict all flesh of all the works of their ungodliness which they have ungodly committed, and of all the hard things which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. And that's what's in Jude, that quote right there. And we read 105, the last one. It says, in those days the Lord bade them to summon and testify to the children of the earth concerning their wisdom. Show it unto them, for ye are their guides, and a recompense over the whole earth. For I and my son will be united with them forever in the paths of uprightness in their lives, and ye shall have peace. Rejoice, ye children of uprightness. So, like, that's our mission right now. We got to show the world what's about to come. We got to publish this gospel while we can. I had spoke at a friend of mine's funeral, man, and it was crazy, man. It was like ever since then, man, it's a trip, because I got a chance to speak before people that knew me since I was a little kid, like all through my life. Like, it was all these people that I had some type of experience with. They was all gathered in this one room at my boy's funeral. And next thing you know, I was up in front of these people talking to them. And the Most High showed me, man, that it's time to expose ourselves. To expose ourselves in Christ. The Spirit of Christ is dwelling within us. And now is the time for us to open our mouths. When it says, Revelations, the 12th chapter, 12 and 9, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Now I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. And they overcame him. So Satan is cast into the earth, right? I'm going to read 12 first. Therefore, rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in the earth. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So now, from the time Christ rose from the dead, gave the command to Michael and his angels to kick Satan out from having access to appear before the Most High with the angels. From that point on, Satan is pissed, and he's going to persecute and oppress the elect of the Most High. That's why we are found in the state that we are right now. That's why if you are the elect, you are not going to really be able to get ahead in this world. You're going to have trouble, and you're going to be without violence. And Satan is going to oppress you. But now verse 11, it says, and they overcame him, Satan, by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. So it's like now we have to expose ourselves, and we have to open our mouths. When I went to speak before these people, it's like I tried to imagine what I would say. And something was like, don't even think about that. Just go up there and open up your mouth. And we got to do that in faith. You got to know that the Spirit of Christ is dwelling inside of you. And if his Spirit is dwelling inside of you, then you have to open up your mouth and give testimony of the evidence that's happening inside of you. You have to expose yourself, your true self, which is Christ. All you got to do is open your mouth. All you got to do is open your mouth and let the gospel be published. Christ is the gospel, the Spirit of Christ dwelling in you. It's the gospel of Christ. He gonna say what he wanna say. It ain't even about you trying to figure out what to say. I ain't studied enough. So no, you gotta open your mouth. And when the Most High brings opportunity, you gotta testify. He said they were saved by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives to the death. That's what we got to be with it. It's that time. I don't know if y'all ever heard of Steve Quayle. Any of y'all ever heard of Steve Quayle? The X-Files, the Q-Files, I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
We got into that a while ago. Steve Quayle, I was listening to one of his broadcasts, and man, he was just pissed off. And he was like, look, I'm done. I'm through. I'm not telling y'all nothing else. Everything that I told y'all that was coming is here. It's happening right now. And I'm done. He's like, I'm out. I'm not doing it no more. I'm done. And he's like, what I'll do is I'll leave my website up. You know, I got 900-something-thousand hours of broadcast up there. Y'all can go up there and listen, because I ain't telling y'all nothing else. I'm out. And he's like, what I'll do for y'all is if you see my webpage go red, then you know that we got about 2 weeks left before everything comes crashing down. He was like, peace, I'm out. And man, it's like, man, what this dude is saying that's going on is crazy. We living in a deep time, man. We living in a time when it says, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the coming of the Son of Man, when the angels came down and these Nephilim and all this stuff was happening with all this technology and all, man, it's here, man. And we getting ready to see it with our own eyes. Some people is getting glimpses of it now. Yeah, check this out. Luke, the 21st chapter, in 21 and 25. It says, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon. Now check it out. This was yesterday. I was up, it was like about 5:30 in the morning. The sun, it was daylight outside, and it was a full moon in the sky. Like it was daytime, and the sun and the moon was both out at the same time. That's not supposed to be like that. And I remember I read one time, and I think it was in the Book of Jubilees, it said when you see the sun and the moon in the sky at the same time, know that we definitely in the end. It says men's hearts failing them for fear. No. And there should be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon earth distress of nations with perplexity. So a state of, let me see, a state of quandary. Look that up real quick. Right. So it says uncertainty, a state of difficulty or perplexity, to bring into a state of uncertainty. So he says it's going to be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars. And upon the earth is going to be distress of nations, that is anxiety of the nations with perplexity. It's going to be a state of difficulty and uncertainty. The sea and the waves roaring, that is to make a loud noise. It says, men's hearts failing them. So people are going to be having heart attacks for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. So we're going to see all this going down, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. So we getting ready to see some stuff, man. It says men's hearts, people are going to be dying from the fear and the awesomeness of the things that are going to be coming on the earth. So now, each one of us, we've been studying in class, but something been happening in the spirit, and each one of y'all is at a different place in time right now. The only thing separating us is time and space. Right now, we done tapped into this technology to where we can communicate real time, almost, although it's a slight time delay, but we can communicate almost real time from great distances away. But every one of us is in the place where the Most High would have you. And as the Most High gives you opportunity, you gotta open your mouth in the spirit, not based off of how you feel personally about something, or somebody might say something to make you angry and you respond with anger. No, but you walking in the spirit, being sensitive to your surroundings and looking, and that's all you got to do. You don't even got to take thought of what you going to say, what you going to prepare, or what you got, because you don't know what the Most High want to say to the people. So you can't even try to get in the way of that. You got to have faith in the operation that's happening inside of you and move and flow with it. You got to feel after the Most High. It's like you got to just become like, you got to be like spiritual Jedi ninjas. I know it sounds crazy, but the more you practice living by faith, that is trusting what's happening inside of you, what the Most High is doing in you, the more you hear his voice, the clearer his voice will get. The more you will be able to trust him, because you're going to have to develop this trust for what's about to go down. Because if you don't have faith, you're not going to be able to survive what's about to go down. You're going to be scared out of your mind. Your heart going to fail you for fear. So, man, y'all got to be mindful, because the Most High is dealing, the Spirit of the Most High is dealing with all of y'all, man. If he wasn't, y'all wouldn't be in class. Y'all wouldn't be here. I ain't never been on a mission that we should try to get me to make the class, public, because, I ain't going to talk about that. But anyway, it ain't even about the masses or the numbers or the amount. It's about how effective we are in the spirit, and how much we flow in those works that were prepared for us before the foundation of the world. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at Christ and how he lived his life, you got to try to emulate that, but not out of a carnal, fleshly, like, I got to be like Christ. I'm saying seeing how he rolled, and then see how the Most High is dealing with you, and then follow the leading of the Spirit so that you will flow in whatever it is that he has you flowing, because nobody's going to be able to tell you how to find this flow or how you need to be. it's only going to come from a revelation of the Father. That's the only way it's going to come. And it's only going to happen is if you believe it. If you believe that Christ is in you. If Christ is in you, then you need to be working the works of Christ. Period. Christ lived to do the work and will of his Father. Christ proclaimed the words of the Father before the multitudes of the people and before the few people. Before those that he had close in his circle and before those, the multitudes, man. It's like when Christ, who is our life, shall appear. That's our life. If Christ is in you, that's what's going down. What happened in the earth when Yeshua walked the earth should be happening in the earth and each and every one of y'all. And each and every one of us who name the name of Christ. So we got to stop being caught up in the everyday troubles of life. The everyday mundane, trying to get the bills, caught up with the job, caught up in just caught up in that. And we all got to deal with that, but you got to deal with it having the faith of the Son of the Most High, knowing that you're moving towards a city, towards a destiny, towards a manifestation of greatness, and that through these times, man, you gotta get the victory over the flesh, the carnal self, Satan, these demons, and that all these things that we experience is just little. It's like a hologram. It's just like a simulation. It's just a means to an end, a means to have you formed into the image of the Son. And your circumstances and your situation are the things that were prepared for you before the foundation of the world. If you are in Christ, you are supposed to rise above that, above your circumstances, above your body, and start to see the Son and see the Father and experience that. And like when we read in that John, he said they overcame him, Satan, by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives to the death. That's powerful, man. Like when I read stuff like that, I'm like, I want that to be my heart. When I look at different things, I'm like, I want that to be my testimony.